In this video, we are going to take a look at 8 things that poor people do that make them stay poor forever. 1. Poor people play defensively. If you only defend in each game, how much chance do you have of winning? Too little or not at all, right? This is why most people play with money as if their main goal is not to win or be first, but not to lose more. They want to pay all their bills so that they have no debt. The problem with this strategy is that when your goal is just to stay afloat, this is the maximum you can achieve. Of course, some people are better off. They save 10% of their income and invest in stocks and pray that the stock market does not fall apart until they have something to rely on when they get older, but until then they are content to receive a meager salary. Of course, this is not wrong, but if your goal is to just pay the bill, you will stay where you are. If you want to get rich, stop playing defense, have big goals and play offensive. 2. Poor people do not value freedom. Freedom means living the way you want to be, not the way others want you to be, doing what you want to do the way you want to be and where you want to be. This is because many people say, money does not matter. Do not think about money all your life, or they say the root of all evils is money. However, you see that these people work for a few days all their lives from morning till night to pay only their debts. They are doing something they wish they could quit, not only because they hate their job but also because they probably hate their boss. And if they had the chance, they would have given up their job. That is why money equals freedom. How do you expect to get rich when you have a negative view of money? The rich get richer every day because money gives them the freedom to do whatever they want in life. 3. Poor people work for money. Sounds confusing. Do you think you do not work for Paulton? Let me explain. What do most people do when they want to make more money? They work harder to make progress, and if that's not enough, they may think about overtime or a second job. The problem is that it does not matter how much money you make, because at the end of the day you have little time left. And rich people understand that, and instead of working for money, they let money work for them. They look at money as a tool to make more money, not as a piece of paper to buy what they need. Of course, you may have to work hard at first. But this is temporary for the rich, while it is permanent for the poor. You will have more freedom when Paulton is big enough to take your place. 4. Poor people focus on obstacles. A friend of mine wanted to start a restaurant chain. In fact, he had been saying this for about 4 years, and every time I asked him why he had not started yet, he would answer, "I do not have enough money and I do not want to borrow." This is the problem. Poor people are constantly looking for obstacles. During these 4 years he could find an investor, or at least save. He had not even researched the market. And he had no plans. He believed that if he had money, everything else would happen by itself. But what happens in the end is that he finally faces another obstacle. No matter what you try to start, there may always be obstacles in your way. And if, like my friend, you do nothing and just complain, you will definitely be in the same bad financial situation as he is. Some people are even worse off. Even if they have all the necessities to start their work, they still tell themselves, what if it does not go well? What do others think if I fail? Rest assured no one cares. 5. Poor people choose to pay based on working hours. How many times have you heard someone say, "I should get $60 an hour instead of $50 an hour"? Or, "I have a degree from a university"? Do I work more than others, or am I smarter and more talented? Do you know what? Nobody cares. Are you watching this video because I spent a lot of time on it? The important thing is that you have to create a value. You may work harder than Jeff Bezos. But Bezos earns $4.5 million per hour. Because while you are complaining, he is serving his company to millions of people around the world. 6. Poor people feel bad about rich and successful people. One day I was watching an interview with a famous and successful entrepreneur. I was reading the comments, most of which were something like this: "He is an unworthy newcomer." And I was really taken aback. This person had tried to reach this position. Even if he has inherited part of his wealth, he is still more disciplined than others. Some people seem to have a commitment to hate rich and successful people. Don't you think it's better to be like them instead of hating them? 7. Poor people think they know everything. This is the most ridiculous case. What do people do when they have a financial problem? They start complaining. There are thousands of things to blame, from the politicians who run the country to the president. But if you tell these people to read a book to learn the basics of personal financial management, they will tell you that this is my money and I know how to take care of it. Well, if you know everything, then why do you fail so much? And that's where they start making excuses, and it's not just about money, it's about other things. Surely by now you have noticed that when people argue with each other they try to prove that they are right even if it is not so, instead of trying to learn. Honestly, I had this mindset when I was a teenager, and I was very stubborn. But then I realized that if I continued like this, I would never progress. So I tried to change my behavior and pay attention to what was happening around me so that I could solve them. 8. Poor people do not manage their money. Knowing how to manage your palton is not something that has been with you since birth, but you have to learn. Just because you have income does not mean that you know how to manage it. People think that if they manage their money, they will lose their freedom. They do not want to have a limited budget to think about before buying something. Rather, they want to get their rights and enjoy it. But the truth is that if you do not manage palton, you will never achieve financial independence. And this short-term feeling of satisfaction is not real freedom. Second, people think they have to make a lot of money to manage it. But it's harder than you think. If you cannot control your income well, how can you manage 10 times this amount? You probably now realize that what keeps people really poor is their weak mentality, and not having money is one of the consequences. But you can change your mindset. And that does not mean that you're going to sit on the money the next day. No. But little by little you learn to see differently. Think differently, and instead of complaining, you learn to take advantage of the opportunities you face. And it would definitely improve your financial situation. There is a saying that the best way to help the poor is not to be one of them. This video is based on the book The Secrets of the Rich Mind by Harv Eker. This is an interesting book that I suggest you read. If you have read a book in this regard and it is useful for you, you can express it in the comments section.